What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining. Hope you're having a great one today. As always, I am super duper excited because today we are taking a look at the lovely power from Chainsaw Man. This is officially my 100th video. I couldn't really decide what I was going to do. Ooh, that's pretty. I couldn't really decide what I was going to actually do for it. There are a bunch of older figures that I haven't unboxed. And while I was thinking it over, being indecisive, hey, we get meowy. UPS driver showed up and made my day with this beautiful lady here. So we're going to go ahead and crack into her. We'll go ahead and give her the honors of being lucky number 100. If you haven't seen Chainsaw Man, it's available on Hulu. It is an absolutely wild series. I love it. It's one of the few animes that I watched and liked enough to go ahead and read the manga. Now, I will say, if you have not read the manga, a lot of stuff happens in the next chapter. So don't do it. You might just want to wait for season 2. I think you'll have a lot more fun if none of that stuff is spoiled for you. Honestly, the show is pretty dang cool. In a nutshell, it's set in an alternate reality where a whole bunch of different stuff has gone down. Basically, the way it works in this world, most of the evil things that happen, like wars, etc., are all caused by actual devils. And in this alternate reality universe, there is a demon who has basically killed them all. So, like, the Holocaust didn't happen, nukes were never made, a whole bunch of other stuff. So it's a slightly different reality, to say the very least. And the story follows a character named Denji, who makes a pact with this cute little chainsaw demon, and he becomes kind of this weird sort of combo where he has a ripcord on his chest, and when he pulls that, he gets possessed by the chainsaw demon himself, and then he can massacre and murder a whole bunch of people. Power is one of the characters that works with him. Like many people, I fell in love the moment I saw her. Oh, there you go. That is such a cool head sculpt. She's a really, really fun character. She's a complete psychopath. She is a blood demon. So she kind of makes these cool weapons out of blood. Just really, really a fun character. Kind of an overly cliched anime character in the grand scheme of things. But I love what they've done with her. So this is actually how she wears her sweater in the show. I don't think you're going to really want to adjust it, but if you were wondering why it's down like that, that's actually how it should be. That's pretty much how she rocks it all the time. And it doesn't really restrict her mobility at all, which is good. It's kind of one of the things that I've grown to love with ThreeZero is you really typically can move them quite a bit. And she's really no exception here. Might have to twist that arm a little bit weird to... Oh, so it's blocked by her hair. That makes sense. So that, her hair is probably going to block some arm movement just because of where it is on the shoulders. You're not really going to need to arch her back backwards, but might also hinder it there a little bit. Very stiff leg joints. And that's not a bad thing. And adorable footwear. Good job there. So she is, hey, look at that. I found little plastic things. So them having these in here does make me think that there's the chance this is going to stain the plastic underneath it. So you might just want to be mindful of that. You probably could take her clothing off and soak it just to get any excess dyes out, which might not be a bad idea. You could also just kind of roll them up a little bit extra if you wanted. That way, if it did stain it, no big deal. It's going to hide when the pants are all the way down. But really, really cool. I love it. I love it. Absolutely. Like I said, she's a very wild character in the show, so really can't complain. You also do get a nice change of hair. She does some crazy dancing, a whole lot of fighting, so this lets her get some fun action poses, which I am a huge fan of. And of course, much like ThreeZero always does, you get some extra faces as well. I believe one's like an angry look, and then one's kind of her goofy one. I could be wrong. Let's take a look. All right, so that one I'm probably going to use a lot. That's awesome. I love that ThreeZero does this. They've genuinely become my favorite 6-scale figure company over the past year. They've really just 100% won me over. Honestly, I really like their Transformers stuff as well. But as far as their anime figures go, they crush it each and every time. And they just give you some really fun stuff to where you're able to do a ton of different poses, ton of different goofy expressions. Each figure that I've come across has basically had kind of a more serious and then a more playful face sculpt, which really does just go a long way. And they do give you some cool blood weapons. I was actually kind of curious how they were going to do these. They're a nice, clear, translucent plastic. She does manifest these out of blood, which is why they look like that. She usually has a much larger mallet, so I might end up making one out of... I could do like a resin pour or something and probably make one that way. Might get her a bigger weapon just for that reason, but definitely cool that they did it. And honestly, the way they... Okay, that's a very sharp tip, so be mindful of it. Just the way they did it with that clear red plastic. Really, really neat. Very cool. I am impressed. I usually easily am, but... And then we gotta take a look at Meowie. So, Power in the anime, she's an actual devil, so she's a little bit different than Denji, the main character. She kills and eats a lot of things. And at one point, she comes across a cat. Oh, he's so cute. So there's Meowie. You can give him a kiss as well. She meets this cat. The cat doesn't hate her. I believe she freaks out a little bit because it's like the first warm body that she's ever really touched. And she ends up just kind of growing attached to it, and it kind of helps her become a little more humanized. So super cool that they have this. I'm a huge fan of that. That's awesome. Also, not to knock any other companies. I feel bad saying this. So a while ago I had gotten the Star Ace Ninja Catwoman that came with an Isis, which is her cat, and it was terrible. It was just absolutely terrible. I don't mean to say horrible things about a company, but this is one of the reasons that I like ThreeZero so much, is because this is pretty dang amazing. He's just so cute. All right, I've spent enough time on that, I think. Cat lovers might disagree, but overall, absolutely outstanding. If you do like Chainsaw Man, they've also got Denji available, which I might get. I have not quite decided yet because InArt Studios is also making a Chainsaw Man. So I know they've got Denji announced, and then the Makima, I think, is the other one. The girl that does the little, one of the characters points her fingers and goes bang and blows people's heads up. They're making her. I'm pretty sure it's Makima, but I could be wrong on her name because it's been a while. Also, as you can see, you do get a whole bunch of hands, but they're just hands. Sorry, box. All right, that'll do it for this one. Thank you all so much as always.